Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel where we dive deep into the world of coins, collectibles, and there in the quiet world of pocket change. Where most people never look twice at a penny, there exists a coin that hides a shocking story, the 2006 Lincoln Memorial Cent. To many it looks ordinary, but to collectors who understand its hidden secrets, this coin can feel like a sleeping giant. Every year millions of pennies pass through human hands, but only a microscopic number of them carry the rare conditions that turn copper into treasure. The 2006 penny is one of those mysterious coins that can quietly sit in a jar while being worth far more than anyone imagines. This coin was born in a year when the United States Mint was producing billions of 1-cent coins, but something special happened in that flood of metal. A tiny number of 2006 cents were struck in unusual ways, with metal errors, double impressions, or off-center designs that made them different from everything else. These mistakes were not planned, yet they created a new identity for certain coins, turning them into rare survivors of mint history. These rare versions are the ones that collectors chase with serious money. The copper side of the 2006 Lincoln Memorial Cent holds special meaning because by this time, pennies were no longer solid copper like the older ones. Most were made from a zinc core with a thin copper coating, so when a 2006 coin shows unusual copper thickness, strange color, or weight, it tells a powerful story. It can mean the coin was struck on the wrong metal or used the wrong blank. These kinds of mint errors are among the most desired objects in modern coin collecting. Imagine a machine working at incredible speed, stamping thousands of coins every minute. In that fast process, even the smallest slip can create something magical. A blank meant for another coin can slide into the press, or a die can strike twice instead of once. When that happens to a 2006 penny, the result is not a mistake. It is a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. These are the coins that can rise from 1 cent to thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some of the most valuable 2006 Lincoln Memorial cents are those with dramatic doubling, where Lincoln's face or the date appears to be doubled as if two images exist at once. Others show letters that look stretched, crooked, or ghost-like. These features are fingerprints of a rare event at the mint. Because no two errors are exactly the same, each rare penny becomes a unique artifact, almost like a fingerprint in metal. Condition is another powerful force in the value of these coins. A 2006 penny that survived without scratches, without corrosion, and with full copper shine becomes far more powerful than one that has been worn down. Collectors want coins that look as if they were frozen in time, straight from the moment of creation. When a rare error combines with perfect condition, the price can climb into levels that shock anyone who hears it. There are stories in the collector world of people who found valuable pennies in ordinary rolls from banks, or even in spare change from stores. These discoveries are real and documented in numismatic history. That is why people never stop checking their coins, because a treasure does not always come in a golden box. Sometimes it hides in a brown, ordinary penny. The 2006 Lincoln Memorial design itself carries deep historical weight. On one side stands Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected figures in American history, and on the other side is the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of endurance, freedom, and unity. When this powerful imagery combines with a rare mint error, the result is more than money. It becomes a historical artifact that collectors fight to own. A high-grade, error-struck 2006 penny is not priced like everyday change. Serious collectors, investors, and auction houses compete for these coins. They understand that once a rare coin enters a private collection, it may never return to the market. That scarcity creates pressure, and pressure creates value. This is how small copper circles turn into financial legends. Some 2006 cents have been discovered struck on wrong metal, meaning they were made on blanks intended for other coins. When this happens, the weight, color, and sound of the coin changes. These are not normal coins, they are proof that the mint made a rare mistake, and collectors will pay extraordinary amounts to own physical proof of that moment. It is important to understand that not every 2006 penny is valuable, but the few that are special can change a person's life. That is what makes them so exciting. One coin in a million can be the one that holds incredible worth. And because these coins can still be out there, hiding in jars, drawers, and old collections, the hunt never ends. When a rare 2006 Lincoln Memorial cent is authenticated and certified, it becomes even more powerful. Professional grading locks in its condition and confirms its rarity, which makes buyers confident. Confidence brings competition, and competition drives prices upward. This is how a tiny copper coin can become a star in the auction world. Throughout coin collecting history, small mistakes have created some of the most valuable pieces ever known. The 2006 penny belongs to this tradition. It represents a modern chapter of a very old story, the story of how imperfection can become priceless. That is why collectors look so closely at every detail, every line, every letter. To someone who does not know coins, a 2006 penny is nothing. But to someone who understands mint errors, metal types, and condition, it can be a hidden vault of value. That difference in knowledge is what separates people who spend coins from people who save fortunes. One person buys candy with a penny, another builds a legacy with it. So if you ever hold a 2006 Lincoln Memorial cent in your hand, do not rush to spend it. Look at its copper surface, study its letters, and respect its history. Because somewhere in this world, one of those coins carries a story powerful enough to turn a simple cent into a. The next up, top two in the quiet world of old American coins, one small copper disc from 1957 carries a story so mysterious, so powerful that it has made collectors stop breathing when they see it. The 1957 Lincoln wheat penny looks simple at first glance, but inside its worn surface lives the energy of American history, wartime recovery, and rare mint secrets that only a few lucky people on Earth have ever touched. Holding one feels like holding a silent key to forgotten wealth. This penny was born in a time when America was rising like a phoenix after World War II. Factories were running, people were working, and copper was still precious. Every 1957 wheat penny was struck from real copper, not cheap plated metal like today's coins. That copper alone gives it weight, warmth, and a feeling of permanence, as if it was made to last longer than the people who created it. What makes this coin truly powerful is not just its age, but the story of how some 1957 pennies were created with tiny mistakes that turned them into legends. Some were struck off-center, some with doubled letters, and a few with strange die errors so rare that even museums dream of owning them. These are not just coins, they are mint accidents frozen in time. When collectors talk about the most expensive Lincoln wheat pennies, 1957 often enters the conversation quietly, like a secret whispered among experts. Because while millions were made, only a microscopic number came out with special features that make them priceless. These coins are not found in shops, they are found in drawers, jars, old boxes, and forgotten pockets. A perfect 1957 wheat penny with deep red copper color and sharp details is already special. But when you add a rare minting error, it transforms into something almost mythical. These error coins are like winning a lottery that no one told you existed. The difference between a normal penny and a legendary one can be invisible to the untrained eye. This is why people who rush to sell old pennies often destroy their own destiny. A 1957 penny that looks dirty or worn might still hide a rare strike or doubled die that turns it into a coin worth more than a luxury car or even more than a house. History hides wealth in the smallest places. The face of Abraham Lincoln on this coin gives it even more power. Lincoln represents unity, freedom, and survival against impossible odds. His image on this copper penny feels like a symbol, a reminder that small things can change the world, just like a small coin can change a person's future. Many legendary coin stories begin the same way. Someone finds a dusty old penny in a drawer, almost throws it away, and then a collector notices something unusual. Suddenly that 1 cent becomes a 6-figure or 7-figure miracle. These stories are real, and they keep happening because rare coins still exist in the wild. The 1957 wheat penny is special because it belongs to the last generation of true copper US cents. Soon after, America changed how pennies were made. That makes this coin part of a dying breed: real metal, real history, real value. Some 1957 pennies were struck so perfectly that they shine like mirrors when cleaned properly. These high-grade coins are so rare that collectors compete fiercely for them. When two collectors want the same rare coin, prices explode upward like fireworks. There are also stories of 1957 pennies with doubled letters in Liberty or the date. These tiny visual echoes mean the coin was struck twice by the die, a mistake that creates magic in the collector world. These doubled coins are not common, they are freaks of fate. Owning one of these rare 1957 wheat pennies feels like holding a golden ticket. Not because it is guaranteed wealth, but because it carries the possibility of life-changing discovery. Every collector dreams of finding one. This is why you must never rush to sell a 1957 penny without knowing what you have. Even worn coins can be rare. Even dark, dirty pennies can be treasures. The real value is hidden in details most people never see. In the world of coins, the smallest pieces can hold the biggest secrets. The 1957 Lincoln wheat penny is proof that history, metal, and chance can collide to create something extraordinary. That 1 cent may be more powerful than 1,000 paper dollars. So if you ever hold a 1957 wheat penny in your hand, remember this: You are not just holding copper, you are holding a piece of America's soul, a silent witness to history, and a possible doorway to unimaginable fortune. Treat it with respect because sometimes destiny hides inside the smallest things. The next up, top 3 in the final breath of the Lincoln wheat penny era, the year 1958 stands like a closing golden chapter in American coin history. For nearly half a century, from 1909 to 1958, the wheat ears on the back of the penny symbolized American strength, farming, and survival through wars and depressions. When 1958 arrived, no one knew it would be the last time those wheat stalks would ever appear on a U.S. penny, and that alone makes every genuine 1958 wheat cent a historic treasure. The D mint mark beneath the date means this coin was struck in Denver, a mint famous for producing bold, sharply detailed coins. In 1958, millions of pennies were made, but only a tiny fraction survived in truly high-grade condition, untouched by circulation, fingers, dirt, or time. When a 1958 D penny appears with blazing red copper color, crisp lettering, and no wear, collectors stop and stare, because such perfection is rare even when a coin is not rare by mintage. What makes this coin special is not magic but survival. Almost all pennies were used to buy bread, stamps, candy, and bus tickets. They were dropped, scratched, and worn down, but a few escaped into drawers, albums, and forgotten jars. These survivors are like time capsules, frozen in the moment they were minted, and today they can be worth thousands of times more than their original 1-cent value. A normal circulated 1958 D penny is worth only a few cents, but a perfect one is a different creature. In the professional coin world, condition is everything. A 1958 D penny graded MS67 or higher by top grading services becomes a serious collector coin, sometimes selling for thousands of dollars because so few exist in that pristine state. Collectors are especially obsessed with the red copper color. When the penny still glows with its original fiery orange-red shine, it means the copper was never exposed to air, moisture, or hands long enough to turn brown. These red pennies are the kings of Lincoln wheat cents, and the 1958 D in red is one of the finest expressions of that beauty. The 1958 wheat penny is also emotionally powerful because it marks the end of an era. In 1959, the design changed forever to the Lincoln Memorial. So the 1958 penny is the last witness to the original Lincoln cent design that had existed since 1909. Collectors love coins that represent lasts just as much as they love firsts. There's also a mysterious legend tied to 1958 wheat pennies, the 1958 double die obverse error. Although it is not the D mint mark version, this rare Philadelphia minted error shows dramatic doubling on the date and letters and has sold for tens of thousands of dollars. This legend has made the entire year 1958 one of the most searched and hunted in the Lincoln cent series. Because of this, many people look at their 1958 D penny with hope, wondering if it could be one of those life-changing coins. While the D mint mark is not the double die version, a flawless 1958 D in ultra-high grade can still command stunning prices because registry set collectors compete fiercely for the best examples in existence. The reason prices can explode is because collectors do not just want a 1958 D, they want the best 1958 D. When only one or two coins are graded higher than all others, those coins become legends. Wealthy collectors will pay extraordinary amounts to own the finest known example, sometimes pushing prices into the tens of thousands. This is how a 1-cent coin can quietly transform into a 4- or 5-figure treasure, not because it is common but because perfection is uncommon. In the world of rare coins, condition creates rarity and rarity creates value. A 1958 D penny that still has razor-sharp wheat lines, glowing copper, no marks, and full original luster is not just a coin, it is a museum-quality artifact. It represents the final heartbeat of the wheat penny series preserved against all odds. People sometimes think every old penny is worth millions, but the real power lies in knowledge. When you understand mint marks, metal, condition, and history, you realize that the true fortune comes from finding the right coin in the right state of preservation. Your 1958 D wheat penny, if truly in stunning condition, could be worth far more than most people imagine. It may not automatically make someone a billionaire, but in the world of coin collecting, even a few $1,000s from a single penny feels like magic. That is why collectors never rush to sell. They have their coins graded, authenticated, and protected, Because a top-graded 1958D is a piece of American history that continues to grow in prestige as time moves forward. So when you hold a 1958D Lincoln Wheat penny, you are holding the last echo of a legendary design, struck in solid copper, born in Denver and preserved by chance. In the right condition, it is not just a cent, it is a silent, shining survivor of history, waiting to reveal its true power to the one who understands what it really is.